nice finger action on that beer, Chris.
I like it, right?
Gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on a beautiful Saturday night.
Just a bit outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday Night Pregame Podcast, pregame a beautiful St. Patrick's Day. We got the green everywhere. You will not see any green on these boys. No pinches.
No Pepsi over there.
He's
our biggest fan. No green. He told me he had no green.
He's all blue.
You should have told me. I had a ton of shirts.
I let him slide.
We could have had him in the official Saturday Night Green.
Oh, I have a couple of those sleevelesses. I forgot about that. Pepsi sleeveless. Oh.
We could have given him my S&P shirt, and he could have ripped it like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, there we go.
Boys, to a wonderful Saturday. We got Joe's probably feeling a little decent at least at this point, and the boys are coming off on
Joe's
the first
finally back.
season.
Missed last week, but I'm back. Well, I guess 2 weeks, right?
Oh. No. You missed. You were there.
You didn't get the Sunday.
It's every other. You're doing. You're every other week.
He's
it's
a
good.
50%er.
Every other.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I don't know if it's the green dye or the beer, but it tastes pretty bad.
Oh, bad.
Yeah, either that or else. Oh.
Depending on when you got these in the machine, that could be the old Coors Light or the new box.
It's funny because I almost chugged. I'm literally gonna probably chug this whole time. You know, the alcoholic's coming out of me. Last what has it been, a month and a half? We haven't really gotten a little hard into the paint.
That's some stank ass Coors Light.
Oh, that would help.
I was gonna say Joe sounded really light.
Wow. Missed that test during the mic test.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah, glad. Because all
you
I was
look
doing
great,
was
buddy.
sneezing. All I was doing was
No,
sneezing.
it's okay.
No, I drank like 3 beers in the time that Sarah and her friends had one. And I was
yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna keep ordering.
And you were just slowing, and you were pacing yourself, right?
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, oh wow, there's still not.
Oh, okay.
Not the one for me.
Where are you at, Joe?
In number of beers total.
No.
Where did you go to?
Oh, you know where we were? We were at the place where you can't touch the moose. In
Oh,
Lincoln Park there.
God.
Oh, the lodge.
Like
place?
Wrigleyville, like in between Wrigleyville and Lincoln Park there?
Yeah, like
What is
right
that called
by.
again?
The North Woods
Yeah,
Lodge
that's
or
what it
Is
something?
that Belmont and Clybourne? No.
Belmont and Racine, something like
Racine,
that.
Something like that. Yeah, on Racine.
The north.
Where they told me not to touch it, and then you literally proceeded 13 seconds after me to touch it
I
again.
touched that thing nonstop.
And then everybody was in our face.
We almost got thrown out of that bar for
Some kid
touching
today
moose.
gave it such a hard slap. I saw it rock on the wall. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then one of the bouncers was like, I see him. I got him. And they just like walked him out. Yeah.
So if you have something like that, why would you put something in a bar if you don't want it being touched? That's just my question.
And especially that bar is a
Yeah.
younger bar. It's a bunch of young wild kids.
And they have
the
tons
dumbest
of
thing
signs.
ever.
It's like antagonizing him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're asking for problems. Just
No.
or either move it higher or move it on out.
Or put like a little glass case around it.
Yeah, it's just stupid. But that's a bar being dumb as
Dude, do
usual.
you have a bandana under your hat?
Oh, is it my hat on too? I forgot about that. I brought the hat down. I brought the hat just to make sure I had the hat, and I forgot I had it on my head.
He has a
you know,
bandana.
with the amount of curls I got on,
flowing locks
I got on here. I forget some things. You know,
Yeah, I can tell.
I told him to go with the do-rag.
I was wondering, is that Fabio or is that Peter Grove?
you know, crazy story. I was reading an article on Yahoo about crazy. I got 2 things from this article that were pretty. 2 crazy things that have happened to celebrities that we really don't talk about. One was being the Richard Gere. I think Gere.
Richard Gere?
Yeah, he's the one who had the supposedly had the hamster in his butt.
I heard that's false, right?
Oh, that's like a, yeah.
So there's zero proof that ever happened.
Yep.
And they don't know. They have no idea how it started. But he believes with all his might and all his heart that it was Sylvester Stallone who started the rumor. And because they were on a movie together and they both hated each other, and Sylvester got him fired, kicked off the movie.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
How crazy is that? And then the second thing with Fabio, crazy. Literally having 2 Fabio references in 1 week is insane to me. He was promoting
Unprovoked too.
Yeah, he was promoting a new ride at what's the Universal in Florida.
Oh yes, I remember this.
And he was going down, and it goes through it goes over water, and there's a bunch of geese, and it scared the geese, and the geese flew up, and one of them got hurt, and its beak got slashed. And splared blood all over him, and
He hit it.
What's up?
He flew into a bird on that ride.
Oh, I thought I couldn't understand. It wasn't really written well, but it sounded like the bird hit something, and all his blood fell on him.
No, there's this they were going through a ride, just like you said, like a roller coaster, and these birds were flying by, and like a plane in the air just smashed him, like caught him right in the face.
Damn.
So he comes off the thing, and he's got blood all over his
Yeah,
nose
it's all
and,
over
like,
his face.
Was it the point in the ride where the picture takes you? That'd be like
Oh, no, they have-
camera would be
they
great.
have-
Well, they have video
Yeah.
of the whole
wow.
thing
That's
for
crazy.
because
Huge-
it's him.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is they thought it was all a stunt. So nobody believes. Everybody's like, "Oh, this is so great. It was such." And he's like, "No, I literally have like blood in my mouth. Like it was disgusting."
Yep.
And that's where the Wuhan flu came from.
That was the OG.
Is that your other conspiracy? Man, I wish the podcast was going. It was such a fun podcast last week. Check out one. This is 190, boys, or 180.
Yeah,
this is 180. Last week was 179.
Yep.
It was such a fun
now I know
podcast.
that for trivia
Pat
purposes.
came in hot with the conspiracies, and it was towards the end of the podcast, and you could just me and Chris were like, we're not gonna. This could go on all night, but it was so good. Pat was on something else last week. It was ridiculous. The amount of time when Pat said, if you guys wouldn't cut me off, I think me and Chris both almost fell out of our chair. Like legitimately almost fell out of our chair. Good times. Joe looking mighty fine today. I
Joe's
love the
very
whole
festive.
get-up.
Very festive.
Yeah. All
Look at-
green, as much green as I can get.
I love the hockey jersey.
Yep.
He's dyed everything green, guys.
Lucky Charm shirt.
Oh, nice,
underneath.
nice.
And then I have a Rub for Luck 4-leaf clover belt buckle.
Nice.
Ooh,
And Chris,
baby.
Chris is not out, but he's got the Care Bear one. So if he's taking a nice lucky lady home tonight, she's gonna be in for a little treat.
Yeah.
That's all I got to
She
say.
would have been for a real treat if it was a little nicer out. I had the green shorts to go with this.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, it's a little. So
It's over 40, Chris. It's over 40.
It's a little too nipply for me.
I had to do some everybody else is having a little bit of fun. I had to actually do something that was very serious today, and we're outside, and it was so cold. We were just outside, and the wind is just blowing on you, and you're standing out there shivering. I'm like, okay, I can just get in the car at this point. But it was kind of beautiful out, and if you're in the sun, this is probably
Yeah.
going a mile a minute here. I'm so excited that it's a weekend we could drink and have a little fun.
Pierre's just ready to go.
Ready to go. So I got to calm it down here a bit. But me and Chris talked about this. We remember only one St. Patrick's Day that had this nice of weather. It was the one when it was 70. Every other St. Patrick's Day was.
That was the one before they closed the bars down, right?
Yeah, they had, yeah. 'cause
No. We
Or,
worked at Glasgow's, the one that it was like 70. Like
I thought wasn't the one right in the pandemic 2020.
no, it was
nice?
after they closed everything because of that. Because of
Yeah,
St.
no, but
Patrick's
I
Day.
thought that weather was really nice that year.
That was pretty nice too. You're right.
it was.
Maybe
but
it's
but
nicer
like,
than I thought.
it's normally.
There's been like one or two where it's like
There was,
particularly nice.
but there was one like where me and Pierre worked at Glasgow's, and it was like 80 degrees, and like that was one Pierre where we worked the front door, and they were
Yes,
using the
it was
side door.
so miserable.
And Peter was inside. Joe, I think you may have been there too.
yeah, I was probably working the restaurant door.
Yeah.
And so
In the
like
back.
Peter, it was like Peter and somebody, and then I was on the outside just making sure nobody went through that front door.
Yep.
And like some girl kept trying to convince me to let her in, and Peter was like, "Chris is gonna do it. He's gonna let her in," and I never did.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is just food dye, and I'm not gonna lie to you though, it does mess with the taste a little bit. It gives you a little something on your tongue.
I think it psychologically messes with me a little bit.
I feel like it does something like gives you a little something on your tongue, which is
I
kind
don't
of
know.
weird.
Peter gave me a pretty bad pour on mine, so
What do you think, Joe?
Couldn't tell the difference.
Okay, maybe it's just me. That's me. All right, Joe. I need to know how was
All right.
Chicago
I
on St. Patrick's
I
Day.
took some notes so that I would remember all the
Ooh,
crazy
notes.
things that happened.
That's very studious of you, Joseph.
I have you know what I have to do that now too because I have all these great ideas I want to talk about, and then I get to Saturday and I forget them.
It was today. It was exactly that. I was like, oh, there's some things that are worth talking about. Let me just take notes so I can kind of like remind myself. So, like I said, started at the Moose Bar. People touched the moose. People.
What time
slept,
did you start at the Moose Bar?
People slept the moose. About 12, maybe 11.
Okay.
And then so we went there, and then from there we met Sarah's friends, and then from there we took the train downtown to go see the river dying. So we go downtown to see the river dying, and right at the Armitage stop, there's a bunch of apartments, and you can see a guy doing a handstand on a keg doing a drinking challenge. So I was
Nice.
like,
Okay,
people
that's
are
awesome.
out.
Nice.
That's
They're
great.
it's happening. It's happening. So then we get to the river, go see the green thing, see the river dyed green, take a bunch of photos, and there's a bar like nearby called American Bar or American Kitchen, not too far from Boss Bar, like a block away.
Okay, yeah.
It's in between. It's right next to that rug carpet store like down the block from Boss Bar on that
Oh
strip.
yeah,
It's
I
like
know.
Yeah, no,
I know
it's
exactly
just
what you're
before
talking
the
about.
bridge. So
Yeah.
we go there, grab a couple beers. Just so happens there's a tall guy who I can only describe him as a human pencil with a beard. Like he's just tall, skinny. He's wearing a shamrock suit, much like the Christmas suit kind of style.
Nice.
And the two friends of Sarah's see this guy as we walk in. They're like, wow, what an outfit. And one of the girls goes, I got to go talk to that guy and get a picture with him. And the other one goes, I know that guy for like the last 10, 15 years. And he was from somewhere out of state. So he's in. This guy is absolutely trashed and is lurching over this girl. This girl that we're with is probably like 5'3", just tiny. And this guy is like, oh, hey, what's going on? Absolutely wasted out of his mind. Just lurching over this woman. At one point, he's got a leg to the left of her, both his hands on the bars, and she's in between them.
Oh,
And
God.
I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, is this something that I should step into? At one point, I was looking and I was like blinking. I was like, blink if you're not okay.
Now,
Blink
Joe,
if
was he,
you're not
was he,
okay.
hold- was he holding that to stop himself from falling, or was it?
No,
was
he
it on
was like
purpose?
lurching over
Okay.
her, just like.
Joe was
oh.
blinking to figure out, like, to get somebody to help figure out what he needed to do.
I was like, yeah, this is uncomfortable. Like, what's happening? And so she chugged her drink and then told Sarah, hey, let's go use the restroom. And I was like, okay, she's clearly not digging this. Now her friend is there and he's like, all right, I'm going to go by. Leaves, comes back like 10 minutes later and he's like, hey, you know what? I'm not responsible for her if she falls into the river. Ha, ha, ha. And she's like, no, we know. And the other girl was not having it. And he goes, you know what? I think I should buy you guys shots. And she's like, okay. And this guy pulls out, he's got a hat on, like a proper Stetson hat. He pulls his hat off and he pulls $100 bill out.
Oh, nice.
And he buys us a round of beers. And then he goes, here's $10. Or he's like, you guys, here's money for the shots. And the girl's like, just unapologetically, like, sure, thank you. Takes the money. And at first I was like, man, that's
Wait,
a.
the guy with the shamrock shirt also had a cowboy hat on?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just making sure I'm following the same guy.
Yep, same guy. He comes back, and I was like, wow, I don't know if I would have done that. And then I was like, you know what? This guy's being such a creep. This is what girls deal with all the time. They're like, yeah, we'll take your money for drinks, you fucking weirdo. And so took the money. He left again. Ladies came back. And then we got to the train to go back towards, actually, we were going to Guthrie's.
Oh, nice.
That was the plan. So we get on the train.
Oh, I love gum threes.
Yep, and we get on,
Lurch is back on the train.
yeah, Lurch is, yeah. We get to
Lurch
the
is
train
lurching
station.
around, baby.
I guess there was some sort of delay. So the train doesn't come. The first train that comes, absolutely packed. And what happens? Some guy tries to squeeze on, and they go, hey, man, there's 2 other trains a minute each apart. Like, you can't get on here. I mean, it is Japanese train level morning, rush hour, tight. This one guy.
Like a cattle car, pretty much.
Yep.
Good deal.
Absolutely tries to shoves in on this one guy. This guy's tall, maybe 6'2", 6'3", lean build, kind of looks like a baseball player. He's still got like his like baseball stuff on, like athletic wear, and starts shoving into this guy, and this guy just starts shoving him back and easily pushes this guy out the door. Now, the guy out the door starts going, "Well, fuck you," and then he tries to take the guy's backpack. So now he's pulling the backpack. All the meanwhile, nobody's getting on this train because nobody can, and they're trying to tell him this. And this guy, the guy who's on the train, who's in the right, pushes this guy so hard he launches him like 4 or 5 feet. At which point Sarah comes up and she's like, "Stop!" And I just grab her waist and mouth and I just pull her back and I go, "You're not interrupting a fight between these two people. What the fuck? What white girl, blondie-haired energy are you coming in going, stop?" Somebody's like, "That's the teacher," and Sarah. I go, "That's the getting yourself fucking killed, Sarah."
Oh, yeah.
That's
That's
getting the Joe killed.
You do not get involved in this situation. Pulled her back, and then yeah, next train came, got on, no problems, and yeah, good day. They went to the next bar. I grabbed my stuff, and then I came here.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Oh, well, thanks for coming, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Happy to be here.
That's crazy.
Long time listener, first time caller.
Holy that's just stupid. We used to be a little bit more of the try to get into. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was going to say, in relation to that, tons of bars, or tons of line for bars, like Irish bars, but also tons of people just out drinking cans of beer everywhere.
Oh, it's
like
awesome.
There's no care, which I kind of like. They don't really enforce the open carry stuff. I feel like that's a post-COVID thing, and they kind of let it.
They probably do it if you're being an idiot.
That's a hot Irish coffee.
If you're being an idiot, they probably will enforce it.
Yeah.
It's basically an excuse.
There were people sitting on the bridge, actually, like on the bridge. I took a photo of it.
With the Dave Matthews in it, the boats below.
When you were pouring into this, Joe, I said, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, when you said tiny cup, I was like, well, it's a shot of of Teeling Irish whiskey, and then a bunch of coffee. But the coffee's only probably like it's like 1 part alcohol, 2/3 coffee, and then another third or another quarter just cream. And so there's not a lot to really.
My only question is, Peter, when you finish that, do you want to start talking some conspiracies?
Baby.
You guys are the best. Dude, that beer went so nice and easy. All right.
Was that your second? Oh, you have water over there.
Oh, yeah, I gotta. Well, listen, gotta hydrate.
Baby.
It's crazy. There's no dye left to make the water green.
I got into the beer, baby. We got enough dye if you need another one, Pat.
No, I'm good.
Pat sounded like he wants another.
I got a few things for you. These are just random thoughts, and why don't we actually? Is there any? Because we haven't done a St. Patrick's Day. This is the only drinking day of all of the year that we don't get to really participate in anymore, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is.
What are other considered drinking days?
Well, I think 4th of July is kind of or like the July 3rd, 4th of July, the day
Days
before
that-
Thanksgiving.
Days that ends in Y?
No, but
the
what's
day before Thanksgiving.
Day before
don't know.
Thanksgiving.
T-box.
What's Mexican Independence? Like
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo could be one.
That's a big drinking holiday.
Yeah. I mean, St. Patrick's Day is a big one.
Oh, definitely, for sure. I mean, it is packed downtown.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely packed. Then you go to like Lincoln Park, that area, walk in whatever bar you want.
Oh,
but
yeah.
downtown, it is lines out the fucking door.
I was on the south side, and they did theirs, I think, the week before.
Yeah, they do.
It was like
parade and everything, right?
Nobody was doing anything out there. It was just like,
Really?
wide, and I was like, there was like a ton of bars I was passing, and there was like nobody out and about having a good old time.
Interesting.
I feel like that
Well, that was weird.
Southside Irish is kind of gone now. You don't hear.
I was
about
in
it
the
as much.
cemetery, and I was going to take a picture. There was a big, huge headstone, and it said Keneally on it. And I was
Hey,
like,
that's me.
and I was like, oh, I know where I'm burying Joe. And then I was like, I'll take a picture. I'll send it to him. And I'm like, that's kind of a little disrespectful right now in the situation that I was in. I was like, I'm not going to do that, but I really wanted this to do it.
Hey, that's Grandma.
Peter's like, I got to go say a quick prayer. I'll be back.
Yeah, give me a second here.
Joe?
S&P short of the day. We are on to 104, by the way. We have hit over 100, Joseph. And even though Pat was the 100th subscriber, which is kind of a great thing. To
I
do,
got my sweatshirt.
Yeah.
he was nice enough to, and then it took a long time for us to get to 104. But
I was saving up for the 100. I wanted to be the 100th guy.
that's not a bad subscriber to be.
Yeah. I was probably like number.
We'll
2.
do a couple house calls things here. First of all, I sent out the Saturday Night Pregame Podcast as NCAA tournament.
Did not see that.
Is that
March
does that start
17th
next week?
March 17th is
So,
when
yeah,
it opens.
Thursday.
I think Sundays are the games selected, Joe, so you don't have to do anything until next week.
Okay.
Which it opens March 17th if you want to start. And if anybody's significant other wants to be a part of it, anybody wants to be a part of it, I will be tweeting this out. So please join. The winner's going to get a gift card. So come on in.
Gift card from where?
I just do an Amazon gift card, so it's easy for them to do whatever
American
they want.
Express.
Basically, straight cash money.
Money. And then we're gonna have a little bit of a small merch drop. I got a couple ideas I want to do. Still waiting on the tie-dye stuff, Chris. Don't worry.
He's gonna drop.
So a little bit of house call.
He's gonna drop a bandana for you, Pat.
Not a
Look forward to
bandana, sweatband. Because I need as much merch as I can get for runs, and I've got a half marathon and we got Soldier Field. We're gonna do the Blacktown. Might as well be merched out.
You guys gonna make the Bucktown this year? You think?
Probably. If Nico Moon's in town, no.
You know what kind of sucks? I was thinking about this year has been a very, very.
I'm not gonna one quick story about that. When I woke up that day, I'm thinking, if those guys ran that race, they're just Iron Men.
You know what? I did not want to pull back. Like he was so good. I did not want to pull back. And Frank was just having,
Frank being
Frank was lit up before
had
we
it
got
not
there.
have been for Frank, I might have maybe.
Frank was lit up before we got there. That's why.
Dude, that is the one. I wish I was in Vegas that night, and I was like, I want to be back in Rosemont. I never would have thought I'd have that thought, but seeing the Snapchats of you guys that night, absolutely just warned. I was like,
Poor Pepsi. Poor Pepsi's out there just like, why am I here with these idiots?
100%.
Pepsi
We
wanted
dragged Pepsi to a bar, spent $25 to get him in there, got him a beer. He didn't want it. Me and Pat chugged his beer and took him down to the next bar.
Which we paid also entry fee to get in.
Yeah. And poor Pepsi's just looking at us both. He's like, you guys are something special. Okay, do us a favor. Check us out on Twitter and Instagram, and check out our shorts. Our shorts are great. Yesterday's short got 3,500 views.
Yeah, baby.
3,400 of them from Chris, but
I haven't seen
Lauren
it
even liked it. We just put a good song with it. I think that was the whole key to it.
So if TikTok's expand, are we still gonna have shorts?
Yeah, because they're
I'm sorry.
YouTube.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
right.
There's
YouTube's gotcha.
YouTube.
We're
and
not
there's
on the
Instagram,
TikTok.
There's YouTube Shorts,
Okay.
Instagram Reels. Dude, you are.
I'm behind the time, Joey.
Such an old
fully,
man.
I am. Yes.
Such an old man. Man.
Get them.
I'm
It
still
is.
on MySpace. I'm sorry, guys.
Pat still
like-
has that.
Pat's like,
that 19-year-old picture on
I
Facebook.
still got Tom. I still got Tom as my friend. All right.
Pat's still checking out stupid videos. Do you guys remember those?
No, not at all.
Stupid videos.
I think I missed
and
those
then They
too.
were like 10 seconds long. This is
Oh,
when
you mean the Vines? Pat's on Vines still.
Am
yeah,
I on Vines? Yeah, I could be on Vines.
I like 10 cents.
It's my money, and I want to know. Shut the fuck up.
So, actually, I was kind of thinking about this too. What do you guys think the perfect time for a podcast is? So Joe Rogan is back on YouTube, so I'm watching more of Joe Rogan. But I get like an hour and a half, 2 hours in, and like I can see that they're tired, and I'm tired with them. Where I see other interviews of like, you watch St. Gillis for like an hour, he's great. Then he's on like Joe Rogan, and then like by hour and a half, you're all just like, okay, this is enough of
An hour is the perfect time.
Yeah, I think about an hour is good. Depending on subject matter, I guess, but yeah, probably about an hour.
Yeah.
Some of the Datelines are like an hour and a half. That works.
I love the longer datelines. I'll take a longer dateline over a longer anything else.
Yeah.
Also, Chris, like I'll take like our competitive eater guys. All of those guys now have cut theirs down to like 10 minutes, which
Yeah, I don't mind that too much.
well, here's the thing. I like it as background noise, so I need a little bit longer. Like 10 minutes. Now it's funny. I'm such a terrible worker. It takes me 10 minutes to find a video. And if it's only 10 minutes,
I
need
know
to
exactly what you're like. I need something to play in the background.
Yes.
Just kind of. It's I've been doing that, and I'm like, I should just go back to music. Then I won't spend as much time fucking around, faffing about, trying to find a video that'll catch my interest.
I honestly have been doing that because I realized that I pay a little bit too much attention when it's like,
Yep.
so I have to do more music now, and it sucks because I love listening. I love hearing things, and music. Sometimes you're just not in the mood for music, but it's just a better option for yourself. All right, boys, let's get into it a little bit here. How we doing? How's the week?
Can I tell you about last weekend going to Bunt?
Oh yeah, please.
What is Bunt?
Please.
Bunt.
And
is
we'll
a-
tell you. It's a great idea. I'm sorry, we didn't even talk about our last week. Our last week was a decent weekend.
Yeah, you should start with what a bunt is, Joe. That'd be Chris and I have no idea.
Oh yeah.
I don't either.
He's a DJ.
Oh yes. Oh, that'd be
okay.
great. Yeah.
This is the thing that I think Brian and Grecia bought tickets to, and then it was kind of it's at a place called the Chop Shop, right near that old fancy Walgreens near Western and Milwaukee, and that like 3 Street
By
intersection. there.
subterranean those places over there.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Debonair, and
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Ohm.
A moment of silence.
You can still buy the
Thank you.
horses.
Thanks, Pat.
Crushed
Go ahead.
it.
Go ahead, Jim.
So we went there. Great DJ. Can I just say? So it was me, Brian, Grecia. I think we tried to invite, or Pat or Brian told other people, but by the time there was no tickets on resale anywhere. Like
Yeah.
it was just a weird event
Yeah,
to
Brian-
get tickets to.
Brian told me that like he didn't get his tickets. Like there was no way for resale because
'Cause,
he
yeah,
didn't
there
get
was
the
2 hours
tickets
before.
2 hours beforehand.
Yeah, it was something. I mean, there was like
You would have been nice though. Is a couple guys who've gotten tickets might have bought a couple extra.
I know.
Go ahead.
We won't name names.
We won't name
No,
names.
nobody will be
No,
named.
yeah.
I mean, it's not like
I'm sorry, guys. I
Ryan
all right.
or I could have done it. No way. But we go to it. It was a good show. It was fun.
It looked amazing. Sorry to keep cutting you off.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it looked amazing.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
kind of stood up. It's a very small venue, very small. Like, honest to God, a couple of these basements. And so we sat in the upstairs. They had like a stairway / balcony thing that was like up above. So we stayed up there right next to the sound booth. They had like an overhang sound booth. So we couldn't really see the DJ where we were at, right? Like I
Okay.
could kind of see it just because I was tall. But if you were standing where I was, you're just going to see the balcony kind of sticking out.
Got it.
But we weren't like Grecia was against the railing, Brian was behind her, and then I was off to the side, not quite like enough room for me to stand next to her. So I left a little bit of space in front of me. Didn't want to be all up on Grecia. Thought that'd be weird. I'd be uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
So people saw this space and they're like, "We're taking it. We're taking
Oh,
it."
Jesus
This
Christ.
girl came in. She treated me and Brian like a fucking pair of saloon doors. I swear to God, she basically kicked us open and then just stood up at the railing. And it's like, okay, this girl's 5 foot nothing. Like, there's absolutely nothing we can do to defend ourselves. Grecia comes in like a goddamn fucking superhero. Hip checks this lady. And then this lady starts yelling at Grecia. And Grecia's like, hey, you just kind of butted in on my friend. Like, she's defending us. And there's this guy that comes in that's like part of this girl's friend group.
Fuck.
And he comes in and I'm like, oh, Jesus
It's about
Christ.
to go down.
Is this about to be like super? But everybody here is tiny and like 19, 20, 21 years old. So they're not grown-ups yet. So this guy built like chicken wire, and he had these like gold-rimmed glasses, just tries to grab his friend, and he's like, Jessica, what are you doing? You've been doing this all night. You're ruining the night. Stop it. But you could also see he was like, please don't start a fight. Like that, just like, please don't start a fight. Because he's the only one in there, and it's me and Brian. He probably's like, if this goes down, these two
He's
guys.
like, I'm gonna get, the little guy's going to kill me.
Yeah, he just looks so regretful. He's like, Jessica, don't do this. Please. You've been doing this all night. Please, just. And she's like getting up in Grecia's face.
Jessica.
And Grecia's taking none of her lip. Just like, hey, you're being rude. You just charged in.
Yeah, of
here
all the
like
girlfriends,
this.
Grecia would be the one you don't do this to.
Grecia fucked this lady up. Not physically, but like
Psychologically,
just
she tore her
verbally
apart.
broke this. This lady was coming with shit, and she's like, yo, listen, I do this for a living. I'm about to break you down. She was my hero that night. I like.
And no one stood around Joe, Grecia, and Brian the rest of the night.
No,
They had their own rope put up around them.
No joke. 2 minutes later, this like tiny blonde girl goes, can I just come by and take a quick recording, please? And we're like, yeah, go ahead.
Grecia's like, no.
This lady took like a 2 minute recording. It eventually got awkward. I was like, is she just coming in here to like sneak in? And now this is really awkward. She took her and she's like, thank you, and then just walked away. So Grecia set a standard that like protected our squad. Anyone who saw it knew what happened. It was fantastic.
That's funny.
It was everything you wish could happen when girls are being rude to you at bars, but because you're a guy,
You got to keep your mouth shut.
you got to just take your licks and move on.
So it sounds like we need to call Grecia out in the future.
Oh, dude, she's a goddamn fucking superhero.
Katrina's bachelor party. Jess said something that Grecia didn't agree with and got hot about it. And it was, I don't know, I have no idea the conversation about it, but it was just like, and the lawyer came out in Grecia. And you can see it with Mike. Mike has these moments too, where the lawyer comes out and you're just like, hey, we're just having a conversation, bud. There's no need to get all hot and bothered about anything.
Yeah, calm down there, Chief.
Yeah, like, hey,
Yeah.
you're not gonna save the Constitution tonight. Like, I promise you, you'll be fine. That's crazy. Last week we had a great podcast. We went to the Whistler.
Yeah, the Whistler, where we could have used
speakeasy behind the
Yeah.
record shop?
where
We
could
could have used Grecia as
we
well
could have
there.
used Grecia there because we were just getting.
We were
I
getting
felt
used
so
and
bad
abused.
for you too. I swear to God, I felt absolutely so bad because
Brian was really getting it.
You guys were because you guys we were in the corridor of the hall.
I was looking like dip, dive, duck, and
I was having, and the worst part is, so I'm a little bit above them, and I'm having the best time of my life because these guys are shielding. No one's coming near me. I'm like, the DJ was on fire. I'm just getting it, and Chris comes out. He's like, we need to leave this bar, and I'm like, why? What are you? I'm having a great
the matter,
time,
guys?
And
We're
then
having a great time.
I see the bar back just go boom right to Chris, and Chris and him are both same size, and the bar back was like what, and Chris is like what? I'm like,
It's like
oh.
it's like that meme I sent you with the ladies from China playing basketball. Lady
Oh,
sets a
yes.
pick and just smashes into the lady who sets a pick. The lady who set a pick was an absolute unit compared to the rest, and it was like, okay, no.
I should show you that one, Chris, because this reminds me of you in softball.
It's just you in bars in general against like women who
is-
try that shit.
It was like it's crazy. Like people were just like, no matter what, would just like run right into me. Like I'm not even there. Like bam, bam, and I'm like, like it's fine if like you're trying to get by and you're like, excuse me, and like if you say excuse me, I'm more than willing to move.
Yep.
But like people were just like shoving me and pushing me, and it's like, good lord, like a girl's like, can I get to a bar? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. 2 seconds later, 2 seconds later, some dude, and this guy literally within like 3 minutes went past me and Pierre like 4 times and just shoved both me and Pierre all 4 times he came by. And
Oh,
like,
yeah.
How? How can you not make it past both of us?
I think I was just like the music was good, the beer was flowing, and I was just happy to be out. And
Peter got that 7.2 wheat beer, and he was.
I know. It was a fun night, and then we went to Federales, which is
yes,
dude,
yes. In that area, right? Not
yeah,
the
yeah,
one on
in Logan Square. Yeah,
Correct.
so that bar, started off slow.
Nuevo Federales.
That bar is now popping.
It got wild.
It was getting wild, and
it also had probably the worst tasting Coors Light I've ever had in my life.
Oh,
I would concur with that as well. Yes, that was worse than the green one here.
Speaking of, can I get the guys around the Coors?
Oh, please.
I know.
I do not want any more of.
Even if I go a little heavier on the Irish coffee or heavier,
I'll take another shot of the coffee.
Less of the
But
espresso or the whiskey. Jesus Christ!
Why don't you double the whiskey and
if I do half a whiskey, double the coffee? Would you want to do that?
Hit me with the coffee.
Just coffee.
Just coffee.
Do you want cream in it?
Yeah, please. If you don't mind. That whiskey was.
Give him half a shot of whiskey. Give him a double shot of whiskey.
Actually, we'll send our assistant to grab the beers if you can get the coffee so you can use that. Pepsi, 4 Coors Lights for my friends, please. I got a tip for you. And maybe just a tip. All right.
That's not the kind of tip you were looking for, Pepsi.
Or maybe it is.
You know what was nice, though, about Logan Square? We got home so quick from that bar. I was home in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It is quick, yes. It's quick.
We were home by 1. And if we go home after, and which we will, if we go after Bub City, if we go after the music, we go home. We should be home by like 1:30 tonight, which would be tremendous.
Maybe with the highway a little longer, but yeah.
Yeah, the highway's good. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hopefully that late at night will be okay.
Okay, so we've got about 20 minutes here. We got to get going. I have a few things that I, from the week, little current events, boys. First thing, did you guys watch? Okay, this is just in general. I know. I'm pretty sure I know the answers to this already. Do any of you guys watch I think it was the Oscars this weekend?
No.
No, I think it was last Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I saw a thing where I didn't get a chance.
You're
to look
okay.
at
Come on in, baby. Sit down. Talk to us.
Instead of taking out the 6 things I got over there.
I saw that the Ryan Gosling did like a thing with like the Ken thing again.
Yes, he did.
I did not see it, but I did see like it was.
Yeah, he did his song and dance. Al Pacino gave an award out.
Gave out the best director or just picture it.
Yeah, and did you? He looks
is like 85.
He looks amazing for 85.
Yeah, I don't think mentally he's all there though.
I don't think so either because he did that.
And I won again.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, he didn't even
Time it out. What are you doing, baby?
He didn't say names or anything. He's just like, Oppenheimer, here you go. You guys have a good night. But he looks, for 85, he mentally might not be there.
I think he had a kid like 2 or 3 years ago.
I think like this last year.
Yeah. Him and Robert De Niro.
What
I'm saying,
there's the chance.
him and Robert De Niro. I saw Robert De Niro was just on Mar or from HBO. And he looks pretty good for in his 80s.
I think he's like 80, yeah. Right on 80.
It's insane. Like that, I noted that. I was like,
he
holy
definitely
crap.
had a kid. I think he definitely had a kid like a few months ago.
Robert
keeps you young.
No.
Keeps you young.
Al Pacino he did the fraternity test, and it was
keeps you young, baby. Keeps you young.
Jack Nicholson had I didn't know this. He had 6 kids, I think with 3 with one woman, and then he had 3 others.
He was dating the lady that played the original Morticia Addams for a long time.
Oh, okay.
In the movie.
In the movie, the first Addams Family.
Correct.
Because I know the guy who played her husband in that
he doesn't
movie
recognize one of his daughters either. That's kind of sad. But then again, Biden doesn't recognize one of his granddaughters.
Yeah, well, what?
Is this? I can't remember.
Oh, Patrick. All right.
Too soon.
I thought this was kind of interesting. The SAT goes online.
That is kind of interesting.
I heard about
that.
Oh, I thought they switched the ACT is the other one, right?
Not what?
I don't.
I think it's the ACT.
It's the SAT.
SAT, yeah.
But I think what is happening, is the ACT kind of got booted out. I think all the schools now just take SAT scores. But that is crazy because how do you prevent somebody from looking up answers?
Do you not take it go to? Is it not with a
it's gotta be
where you
the
go
CPA,
and take it in a controlled environment? It has to be right.
You gotta be right.
But it goes online, so I don't know what that means.
But I mean, the other one's online too, where you take it digitally. It has not probably not. You're not taking it Scantrons.
Yeah.
Was that how it was going up until now?
I would assume. I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Wait, doesn't Katrina used to proctor a lot of those tests?
She did. She did the practice ones, which were online, but a little different, probably.
Okay. All right. I thought that was very interesting that they.
And we're down to 2.
Where's Chris McGraw going?
He's had enough of this shit.
You got to pee?
I've had enough of this shit. Had enough of your SAT talk.
This motherfucker.
This brings back
wait for Joe to come back.
Brings back PTSD. for his terrible score he had in the SAT.
God, he's got to have the smallest bladder known to man.
He said he's got to pee. All right, I got to pee. I got a wee wee.
You're an all-American boy. How do you feel?
I got to pee.
I got to pee. It's the funny. That's hilarious. So when I went today, I had to pee. So I was waiting in the car and there was no one there, and I was like, I got to pee. So I go in and everybody's in there and it's just me. And I was like, oh, hey, how we doing?
I saw a video the other day. This guy really rigged a like pee system in his car. It was like, it looked like a coffee mug that you put in your coffee holder, but like it pulled up, had like a tube through it that he ran through the floorboard, through the chassis, and then into the muffler, so you could like pee in the cup while you're driving, and it would go out the muffler.
I bet his muffler's good. I bet his car stinks.
I mean, it was a shit car, but I mean, I don't know why you would want this, to be honest. I thought to myself, like, is it really that hard just to pull over and stop?
How long are you driving for that you need to?
I mean, maybe the Uber drivers could look into this, or the Amazon drivers could look into this.
Yeah. No, but I mean, but then your car stinks.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
because it's not all going out.
Yeah. No.
And then if you ever smelled?
There's also a hole in your floorboard because you got to drill through your floor.
Have you ever smelled like think about like in the subway when they pee on things and it gets hot in there.
Just think about the entire New Orleans bar area. The bathrooms. It smells just like urine.
No, but I'm serious. Like, think about the CTA when it gets warm in there, and that's warm,
terrible.
hot piss smell.
Love it.
Your car stinks like that all the time.
All the time. Oh my God, they're both back. That was record time, Chris.
Wow, Chris, really?
Did you even like shake it twice or what? Did you even shake it twice there?
Oh, baby.
I got chastised for going to take the pee, so I wanted to get back as fast as possible.
Did you?
No, definitely didn't wash his hands.
We done with the Pat Lynch Power Hour?
You definitely did not do the 30 seconds of washing your hands.
Pat just
I
brought
did wash my hands.
Pat brought up a pretty interesting
Conspiracy theory?
Yes, I did, Chris. You can listen to
What's the conspiracy?
Well, no, he actually brought up this. I don't know how this came up, but it was a guy.
We're talking about Chris's bladder.
Yes, how small it is.
It's the world's tiniest bladder.
And I proposed a solution for you, Chris.
Please let me hear.
So I saw this video of this guy.
You gonna give me a stadium caddy?
In the car there was a it looks like a coffee mug, like sitting in the cup holder. But you can pull it up, and it's got like a little plastic tube hooked into it that goes through the floorboard, back the chassis into the muffler, so you can pee in this thing, and then it will flow all the way into your out the muffler, so you can drive and pee at the same time.
And it goes out the muffler.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about how bad that has to smell because think about every time you warm up.
A fan of that.
Also, how pointless it is because you literally just pull over and take a piss somewhere. Right?
Some dude in a pickup truck just stares at you while you. I would. There's no way I'd be able to do that.
So next time,
I went to the bathroom today, and I was sitting at a urinal, and these guys started talking about like, I don't know, and North Dakota State University. Who the fuck knows what that place is? I don't know how that became a topic of conversation, but
betting, I bet.
It was enough. It was enough for me to just be like, I'm too nervous. I can't. I'm out.
Joe's like, please stop talking. I gotta pee.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. That is a tough
Joe's
situation.
peeing reminds me of that like scene in Waiting where the guy's trying to pee and everybody's talking and he can't pee.
Oh yeah, yeah. That happens.
That's me.
Yeah, I have no issues peeing.
Joe, you kind of look like Fisher a little bit.
It's what he's going for.
Losing it.
Dude, actually, this brings me back to another topic. I was thinking about how.
What a fantastic pour.
Yeah, well, it wasn't as bad as Pat's. Pat's was full cup.
No, you want that because that way the foam comes out, it doesn't sit in your stomach, and then get your stomach full.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, that's a bullshit.
What conspiracy bullshit theory?
Yeah, what was
that?
the thing that Pat brought up that was worth talking about?
Oh, that was that.
The
right
cup
there.
thing.
Yeah. Peeing into a muffler.
In the cup.
I thought it was interesting. I mean, a little bit of ingenuity. Damn it, whose dad told us they used to drive up to Wisconsin, and they took their windshield wiper fluid thing, and instead of having it go to the windows, it came into their car, and they would press and it would pour vodka.
That is ridiculous.
Holy
and
shit.
Chris, you remember whose dad told us?
That feels like Mr. Cool all the way, but I'm not sure.
No, damn it, it was.
My dad used to go buy beer in Wisconsin, but he did not do that.
Shit.
Interesting. That's genius. In all honesty, that
No,
is
it was.
that is a marvel in
And they would do
engineering.
that. They would do that as they would drive up to Wisconsin,
Yeah,
and then they would drink at the bars, and then would come back.
This sounds very safe.
that's awesome.
Oh well, this is why there's drinking and driving rules, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Also, those cars probably didn't have seatbelts back in the day, but they were like tanks as well.
I'm trying to remember it, and I remember the story vividly, and I can't remember what it was.
I saw a hilarious video when they were enacting no drinking and driving, and people were like, "This
yeah.
is un-American. Like, what is this? They're taking our rights away. I should be able to crack a beer on the way home from
After a long
nice
day of work.
12-hour shift of working." what is this? This is ridiculous. And then another lady's like, I believe this is absolutely incredibly wrong. And here she's got a little baby like sitting in the front of her car, but she had the baby seat buckled in, so there was some safety.
Just a baby with a seatbelt over it.
Yeah,
no car seat.
They're gonna be real happy then. I read an article where they're trying to lower the legal limit from 0.08 to 0.05 nationwide. They did it in Utah. Hawaii's got it on the ballot, and Washington's been.
Can you even drink in Utah?
Utah,
you can. Yeah, you can drink just at certain weird times, and then when the sun is at a certain spot.
There's no such thing as a dry state.
No, there are dry counties all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. If you're gonna drink,
bunch of bitches, am I right?
If you're gonna drink, just get an Uber. I cannot, dude.
Yep.
What's his face? Rajon Rondo. He in Indiana got pulled over, was drinking, and had a gun on him. And it's like, what are you doing, bro? Just have an Uber.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
Yup. That's
Patrick Mahomes' dad, drinking and driving. What are you doing, bro? Your son's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Get an Uber, bro.
Dad's not sharing. He's not sharing with the dad.
My dad always says, do you want to pay like tens of thousands of dollars in like fees and violations and you get your license suspended, or just pay like $100 for Ubers?
Yeah, I mean, look at Dave's kid. I think he had years. I think he just got his ankle mangled a couple years ago only.
Yeah. It's like, not only is it dangerous for those on the road with you, but also if you get caught, it completely fucks you financially.
Oh,
can mess your job up.
Take 10 grand and burn it.
Mess your job up too.
Right off the
Just take 10 grand and burn it.
Something worse. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Minimum.
Think about not ending up on killing somebody.
Doesn't include the cost that you have to take for the classes and shit that you have to do as well.
Yeah.
It's so not worth it.
Okay, boys. I've got one more topic, and then we'll do some feel good, and we'll get you guys out of here. And we'll go enjoy this beautiful Saturday night.
It's gorgeous.
Target. So I didn't realize. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love self-checkout. It's my favorite thing in the entire world.
I saw this one.
Old people suck, and people who have 90,000 things in their line. Yep. Me and Chris can get in, get out, bam, bam, bam. Yep. Wham, bam, in, out. I don't ever have to wait. I am the least patient person in the entire world.
My mom has to take my dad with her when he has to go like Walmart for like self-checkout because they're too much for her to deal with.
Lauren used to be that way. She's like, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, I'm not even helping you. Go. It's not hard. It's doot. Like, it's easy.
Yeah.
Find the barcode and scan it.
Exactly.
But I didn't realize this. People are really good at scamming the self-checkout.
Oh, yeah, you can steal stuff if you want to.
Insanely good at stealing stuff from self-checkout. So all these stores, that's a good portion of where they lose a lot of lost control. And
so they're bringing back people.
Yeah, they are. No, Target has just implemented a rule. They started this in Minnesota. They're having only 10 items or less at self-checkout.
That makes sense because they're based in Minnesota.
And then everything else has to be ran by a check because they don't want a lot of it is convenience. They don't want people being stuck behind a guy who's doing self-checking out 30. The other thing is though, they know if there's 30 items, they're only scanning 25.
It's more likely to steal. That makes sense.
Also, because they usually have one person kind of floating around in those things. It's probably easy. It's easier to track people with 10 items than like
somebody
a cart
comes
with
in with like a 21, like you got to scan someone who buys beer. He's only focusing on that one person.
Oh yeah,
that's the scam. That's a scam, Joe. That's a scam right there.
Boom. 100%.
Conspiracy theory.
This we're going to forget.
This is Joe's outfit when he's the guy that's stealing the stuff from Target. By the way,
listen, guys, aliens.
Go, Patrick. Go. We know you have some real thoughts on that. All right, let's get into some.
I was in Area 53. Area 51 is for those posers.
Here we go. This is kind of crazy. 10-year-old, 10 feel good stories, boys. All right, we're gonna get you feeling good today.
Okay.
10-year-old raises $80,000 for Pearl Harbor Memorial after school project inspires deep admiration.
Where's the memorial at?
Man.
Pat. Again, you're not supposed to ask questions.
That's a lot of money for a memorial.
North Carolina, bud.
Considering there's already one in Pearl Harbor, but just curiosity.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I think it's going to be North Carolina. That's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Because I mean, who doesn't want to visit the Pearl Harbor Memorial?
I hope this 10-year-old here's this podcast, comes to Chicago and beats your ass.
Well, come on
That
up.
will be my feel good
Come on
story.
down, buddy.
So from the podcast, Are You Garbage? Foley is getting married. He's the bigger guy on there. He's getting married to his.
Is that the guy you did the stand up one?
Yes, Kippy just put out his 30 minutes. But yeah, if you're looking for a good podcast or a good comedy on YouTube, Joe. Look up Are You Garbage Foley. His special is it's a 30-minute special. It's amazing. It's really funny.
Out of curiosity, have you? I haven't watched it, so I'm just curious. Have you watched Dan Soder's?
I haven't. It's on my list.
Yeah.
I didn't. I've never just haven't had a lot of exposure to him, but he's been on a lot of the podcasts recently.
I've heard
he's
him.
Funny.
I've heard him mentioned by other people for a lot of years. People always said like, "Oh yeah, he's great. He'll blow up one day," and now he has kind of like popped off. He's on. Yeah, I see him on a bunch of like short little clips where he's going on a lot of people's podcasts. I think he just started his own too recently, but yeah.
Okay. This is just a random one, but Cougar travels, and not a cougar, not a MILF.
Then we got that one.
Got it. Okay, I was gonna ask.
Travels 1,000 miles east in one of the longest recorded treks.
It would have been much better if it was.
I mean, it easily could have been a real cougar doing, or not a the slang.
1,000 miles though. Jesus
That's
Christ.
incredible.
An animal.
That's kind of crazy. Couldn't find food, huh?
CHAR T-cell therapy achieves near complete tumor regression in brain cancer after 5 days.
Sorry, what was it called?
CHAR T-cell therapy. I have no idea what that is.
Wasn't going to ask. I knew you wouldn't.
But brain cancer is one of the toughest ones. So Joe Ritchie, before he passed, invested in this medical company in Rwanda, and they do a lot of great things. And one of the things they're invested in with is a pancreatic cancer that just got it's a pill that just got FDA approval, and it's pancreatic cancer is one of the deadliest, and it's helping, which is great to hear.
Rwanda's an interesting place for that to be based.
The company it does a lot of. I think one of the things is what did Frank have? He had tuberculosis.
He did.
They have a vaccine for that, I think, and so they want to do it because Rwanda. Unfortunately, Africa is a rough spot for a lot of diseases that most of the modern world has gotten rid of.
But we're trying to bring them back, so don't worry.
Oh yeah.
I found there was a measles case in Chicago. I found the other day.
I just heard about that.
No, there's like 7 now.
Yep. There's like a breakout.
And that's because
We're bringing it back, baby.
You know what's crazy?
Gotta love it.
I get why a lot of people are upset. I just heard that I don't know how true this is, but I read in Yahoo, I read an article that they want to give $500 to migrants, like a month. And if you're a struggling United States citizen, like how does that not? And I get why they want to give it to them because these people come here, they need some subsistence, or they're going to go a life of crime.
Who's going to fund that? I guess the question.
The tax. What do you mean? It's taxpayers.
Yeah. So I mean, so it's like.
I get why.
But how do they? But I guess what other sub is we shall have a podcast with us probably.
But no, I'm not trying to.
No. But my point was like, how are you going to know to send it to them because they have to like register for it? But then it kind of like gives you a thing like, well, we're going to support other people because we know where they're at now.
Well, no, but they're not because that's what the point of a sanctuary city is.
But my point, my point is like, then you have like a list to track them all.
Well,
kind of thing.
he's saying like there has to be some way to prevent doubling, tripling, paying these people. So there has to be some information gathered and some sort of.
Also, like a lot of them can't have bank accounts, so they don't have social security numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like,
yeah.
It's how would you like hand out cash?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's probably like a Visa gift card, maybe an Amazon, like I'm gonna do.
It just seems like a very interesting.
Yeah, and again, I don't know how it would work, but when people are upset who are struggling, and they call the migrant crisis, like I think politicians have to recognize that.
Well, I mean,
this is what stuff that upsets people. But I see it on the other side is you don't want these people coming here, being stuck here, and then having to go to steal to make ends living.
I mean, I remember when I met Katrina, she was making no money. She was
a migrant.
She was making like no money, and she couldn't like she was being like eating and paying her rent.
Yeah,
and then she couldn't get food stamps.
Can you imagine, dude? It's tough. I mean, we could go into this, but like I feel for people like elderly people now, and rent. Can you just? We're struggling making sure that rent is not insane. And you got all these people, rent is insane. Now you have to decide between rent and a place to, eating at this point, a lot of the times.
Or medicine. Yeah, it's crazy.
Forget about it.
Oh, this is supposed to be feel good, and we always go so deep.
You really ruined it.
We really just never get into. Okay, I'm gonna only do a couple more here.
Nobody bring us down the dark side.
More teens than you think understand the positive and negative effects of smartphones. Survey says. That's kind of nice. People think that the younger generation they don't get it. I thought this was kind of cool. NASA sends a message in a bottle into space to communicate with aliens, boys.
Nice.
Wow.
Hopefully they speak English.
I just heard.
That's a good call, Pat.
I can't remember the name of it. The satellite that took a picture of Earth at the end of our, at the end of our solar system.
The new one, yeah. It's not the Hubble. There's a new one now.
No, but it was the Hubble. I think is the one I'm thinking of. Is just at the end of its lifespan, kind of. It's starting to send back janky, glitchy images and coding and stuff like that. That thing got shot out in the 70s.
Yeah, I thought they put a new one up not too long
ago. They probably did. You're probably right. But I'm just saying that it's kind of the end of the life for the Hubble. Is it the Hubble telescope? No, the Hubble telescope is on Earth.
It's here, yeah.
What's the name of the satellite that's out there? Launched in the 70s.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Probably like the Voyager or something.
Maybe something like that.
I'll look it up on my phone's
reaching the end of its life, 25, 30 years. Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Things outside our solar system now.
And this will be the last. Well, there's two things we want done, and we'll make them quick. 29-year-old becomes first American woman to race a sailboat solo around the world. She had broken ribs, and her boat was pretty much useless as she was coming in. It's a crazy story. That's a good one if you got some time and you're just looking to waste some time. Her story is
make a
crazy.
movie out of her. It'll get aired on Disney Plus and
it feels like a Hilary Swank movie.
We're gonna let that breathe. We're gonna let that one breathe.
But she could be an actress playing her.
Isn't Hilary Swank she's the one from Millionaire Princess, right? Or whatever.
$1 Million Baby.
Yeah. All right. Discovery of genetically varied worms in Chernobyl could help human cancer research. So these worms they have mutated to where radiation doesn't affect them.
Oh wow.
They have adapted. They've evolved to the point where radiation doesn't affect them.
That's pretty crazy.
How insane. It's not, we're talking, 60, 70 years maybe?
92 they did it?
Was that, oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was 86.
Yeah, so maybe, almost 40 years?
Yeah, getting close to 40 years.
And they've evolved. That's insane.
Almost old as Chris.
Almost.
And on that beautiful note, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Hopefully you were safe because this is Saturday. This is St. Patrick's Day.
Sorry, just to give some context of that.
Yep.
Lifespan of a worm, 4 to 8 years. So in 60 years, that's 7 generations, and they've evolved out of radiation poisoning.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
But you know what? That makes a little bit more sense because I think it does. I'm guessing that their evolution is probably quicker.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like
because humans would take a lot longer.
Maybe. I mean, I've heard some crazy things about Chernobyl animals being beefed up and really have this resistance to radiation that other species don't have because they've just been living in it.
Yeah,
wolf packs and stuff.
Yes, I've heard that too. Yeah. Do yourself a favor. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter and X, and get X'd out. We're gonna X this out. At the SMP or podcast SMP. You can email Patrick at the SMPpodcast@gmail.com. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe. We just hit 104. We want to get to 150 in the next 3 months. That would be great. Hit the like button. Throw a comment down. Look it up. Just tell Joe how good he looks.
I'm starting working on those burner accounts now.
Yeah. And as always, enjoy yourself. Be safe. Hit them liquid IVs, those BioSteels. If after a long night of drinking, that BioSteel and a liquid IV and ibuprofen are absolutely magical, especially if you're over 30. And have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bears traded Justin Fields to the Steelers for a conditional 6th. Bye!
Kenny Pickens.